Coachella, as it does every year, is taking the world by storm again this year. This time there were a few familiar names from the K-pop world on the Coachella stage: KATSEYE, BIGBANG, and Taemin. KATSEYE's performance was criticized for being provocative, and Manon's absence sparked backlash. BIGBANG reunited after 9 years, Taemin threw shade at his former company on stage, and many more things happened. Without wasting any time, let's talk about everything that went down during the first week of Coachella this year. First, let's start with KATSEYE's performance, because I know many of you are curious about them. KATSEYE performed on the first day of the festival. However, they went on stage with one member missing. Manon was not there. They delivered a performance that lasted approximately 45 minutes. Despite this, the group didn't lose any of their energy when they stepped on stage. They performed hit songs like Gnarly and Gabriela, and also delivered a performance of Pinky Up, which had been released just one day earlier. At the same time, in a surprising moment, they sang the group's song Golden, together with Huntrix members AJ, Ray Ami, and Audrey Nuna, whom we know from K-pop Demon Hunters. Honestly, I really liked the Golden performance, especially on the Coachella stage. It looked incredibly impressive. But of course, not everything was that positive. Some moments from KATSEYE's Coachella stage were heavily criticized, especially on social media. First of all, the most criticized moment was the choreography move where Lara licked Megan's face. This move received a lot of backlash. The main reason it drew so much attention was actually because both Megan and Lara have boyfriends. People generally interpreted this move as an unnecessary attempt to gain attention. In addition, the twerk-heavy choreography, stage outfits, and close contact dances also became the focus of criticism. But at the end of the day, the group is already known for this kind of style, and I think the people who went there to watch them were aware of that. Personally, I didn't find it that disturbing. Another point of criticism was during the Gabriela performance, when Daniela couldn't control her voice during her part. Some users said this wasn't the first time and that Daniela always makes mistakes in that same section. However, there were also people who defended her, arguing that delivering such a vocal performance after intense choreography is physically very challenging. In an interview with Nylon, KATSEYE stated that during their stage preparation process, they were especially inspired by Beyoncé's iconic 2018 Coachella performance. That performance, being the first by a black female artist to headline the festival and featuring the reunion of Destiny's Child, made a powerful reference to girl group culture and became a significant source of inspiration for them. In addition, KATSEYE also mentioned that they took inspiration from the performances of Blackpink, who made history as the first K-pop girl group to perform at the festival in 2019, and later became the first K-pop group overall to headline the festival in 2023. But of course, the most talked about topic regarding the girls at Coachella was Manon. Her absence from the stage had already drawn attention. However, what made it even more interesting was that Manon was actually at Coachella. She was seen at the festival grounds hanging out with Ice Spice, yet somehow she didn't make it onto the stage. Those who watched my previous video already know I mentioned there that Manon's biggest dream was to perform at Coachella, so she literally made it all the way there but couldn't perform. In general, a few people who claim to have seen her there also said that she looked sad, although it's unclear how accurate that is. By the way, there was no clear information about whether she watched KATSEYE's performance or not. Many people at the venue said they didn't see her. After their Coachella performance, the girls gave interviews, and Lara said about Coachella, "Last night our dreams came true. You know, in every interview, whenever we're asked about our biggest goal, we always say performing at Coachella. We achieved that last night, so we're very grateful, and there will be many more Coachellas after this." Yoonchae, on the other hand, stated, "I was so happy that we brought Huntrix to the Coachella stage. They were really amazing. They were so sweet. When we started singing Golden, we saw most of the crowd screaming. They were so excited. That made me really happy." Sophia said, "It feels really great to be on stage together at Coachella and deliver such an amazing performance." And Daniela said about their song Pinky Up, "We really loved the song. Performing it for the first time at Coachella was incredible. I watched the videos again and said, guys, we delivered an amazing performance. Especially the dance break. The crowd went crazy." Megan also said about Pinky Up, I think it's one of our favorite songs. It's very powerful, something that gives us confidence. I think it ranks among the top. First of all, Lara saying that Coachella has been their biggest dream since becoming a group makes the situation even more dramatic, considering that Manon was there but still couldn't perform on stage. After Lara's statement, I felt even more sorry for Manon. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes, whether Manon went to see the girls before they went on stage, whether they talked, what exactly happened, but nothing changes the fact that this situation is really sad. By the way, I also want to mention this. I think the group's stage design was amazing. The group essentially transformed the Sahara stage into their own world. In this concept called KATSEYE City, they use structures and visual designs inspired by their song titles. This detail made the performance not only musically strong, but also visually impressive. Additionally, KATSEYE's stage attracted one of the biggest crowds at Coachella. The Sahara stage was almost overflowing. It was even said that the crowd extended all the way to other stages. While all of this was happening on KATSEYE's side, another name who took the stage also made history in K-pop. Taemin became the first Korean male artist to perform solo at Coachella. By the way, let me briefly jump in and say something. Throughout the video, I didn't use too many visuals or clips from Coachella because Coachella is very strict about copyright and can directly issue claims on photos and videos. That's why I couldn't include many visuals. I just wanted to mention that. Also, I'd really appreciate it if you follow me and give a hype score. Now let's continue. When Taemin took the stage, he said that he had been waiting for this moment for a long time and expressed how happy he was to share it with his fans. During his performance at the Mojave stage, he didn't just perform his old hits, but also debuted 6 brand new songs for the first time at Coachella. With a live orchestra and dancers accompanying him, Taemin's stage show felt like a true work of art. One of the most special moments of the night was when he played the piano on stage during the performance. By the way, while performing one of his new songs, there was a line in the lyrics that went, "You're wasting my money and using my name. You're a complete parasite. I need to get you out from under my skin." According to fans, Taemin was directing these lyrics at his former company, BPM Entertainment, because in recent months he left the company due to contract violations and their relationship has reportedly been quite tense. For this reason, many believe that these lyrics were aimed at the company. Now let's move on to one of the groups I was most excited about at Coachella 2026, Big Bang. The lineup, consisting of G-Dragon, Taeyang, and Daesung, celebrated their 20th anniversary on the Coachella stage. The group performed on April 12th and delivered a performance that lasted approximately 60 minutes. The most significant aspect of this performance was that it marked the group's first time appearing on stage in a near-complete lineup since 2017. The last time they had come together was during the last dance tour, so we're talking about a comeback that came after a full 9 years. By the way, for those who may not know, Big Bang was originally scheduled to perform at Coachella back in 2020, so about 6 years ago. However, the festival was cancelled at the last minute due to the pandemic. In a way, Big Bang had been postponing this festival appearance for nearly 6 years. At the end of the performance, Taeyang said that Coachella meant a lot to them and added, "I'm so grateful to be able to share our music and passion with all of you." The group's leader, G-Dragon, also made a statement saying, "This year marks Big Bang's 20th anniversary and everything is just getting started. Big things are coming soon." By the way, YG Entertainment had announced in recent months that Big Bang would go on a world tour this year to celebrate their 20th anniversary. Honestly, seeing the group come together again for a world tour after so many years is incredibly exciting. I personally follow G-Dragon's solo work very closely and think he is extremely talented. Coachella was truly amazing this year as well, just like every year. And there's still one more week to go. I believe next Sunday is the final day. However, this year there were sound issues, microphone malfunctions, and delays which negatively affected many performances. It seems that due to weather conditions, some stages couldn't be set up as planned. Apparently there was more wind than expected, which prevented certain stage designs from being built for safety reasons. So, what was your favorite performance from the first week of Coachella? Don't forget to write it in the comments. Until the next video, take care of yourselves. Goodbye.